It was my last full day in Cape Cod. I overslept and missed the morning golden hour, so I devised a plan B.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm still on Cape Cod, and this time I've come down to the National Seashore, which is a little bit south of Provincetown, but it's like on the sole of Cape Cod, if you think of Cape Cod being the shape of a boot. It's kind of cloudy, kind of partly cloudy. It's actually near midday, but the light is very soft right now. And the tide is also coming in, so what I'm looking to do is probably some wave photography, both regular speed and also some long exposures. And I think the long exposure is actually going to work pretty well here, because it's a very minimalist scape. Basically, there's really not, really no particular landmarks. There's really no great elements of foreground elements for composition. So I'm still going to do some long exposures as well as regular length wave photography. As the tide is coming in, the wind is blowing pretty good, and we actually have gale warnings up for the area, so we could get some interesting water action. I'm going to set up, I'm going to find a location where the waves seem to be breaking a lot, which is basically where the water is kind of shallow, and we'll go from there. So I've set up my camera in a pretty low position to get not too much of the sky, but a little bit of it, and I'm focused on where the waves are breaking, like right about there. With a 6-stop neutral density filter, I'm getting exposure right now 1/5 of a second at ISO 100 and f11. So I'm going to take a shot right where the water breaks. I'm going to wait for a good wave now. Right there. And I actually like that first shot pretty much. So I'm going to take a few more, and then I'm going to put a 6-stop ND filter on. And you're going to see the results that I get with each filter right now.
I used my cable release to time my exposures for when the surf was receding or a wave was crashing. Several images caught both moments simultaneously. My initial images with the 6-stop ND filter showed me that the scene had promise, but the nearly midday sky wasn't very interesting. I cropped most of the sky out in this first photo, and cropped or composed it out altogether for the rest of this series. When I changed to the 10-stop ND filter, my exposure time went up to 1.6 seconds. At that point, the images became more abstract, and the contrasting layers and lines in the resulting compositions were fascinating. Just beyond the sand, a layer of rocks lent purple and indigo tones to the receding water that I could not see in real time. Some brightly colored stones caught my attention, so I went out a little further and lowered my tripod to focus closer on the water patterns rushing around the rocks. One image looked to me like a hilltop rising above a cloud inversion. It was probably my favorite shot of the day. At this point, I was in photographic ecstasy. It was easily my most productive single-field session of photography of the year. And that's when it happened. The total disaster. You know, they say you should never turn your back on surf, but sometimes the surf will get you even when you're looking at it. And basically a rogue wave came in and knocked my R5 into the drink. I fished it out within about a second, but this could be an expensive repair for me. Right now it turns on. I mean, I pulled the battery, I wiped it out and everything immediately with a cloth. Now I'm back in the hotel room now, as you can see, and took it out again just to see if it works, and basically it turns on, but the the shutter and aperture dials don't work. So I just can't change any settings. I don't know what else is what else is wrong. It looks like the cards, media cards are okay because the media plays on it. So I'm going to pull those cards out, go out to the store and buy a 5-pound bag of rice and a bowl to put it in, and hopefully, once the camera thoroughly dries out, then things will work, and if not, it's going to be a factory repair for me. So that's life. Fortunately, that wasn't the end of the story. The R5 survived the 3-day rice bath and seems to be working perfectly well as far as I can tell. I wasn't quite as lucky with the 24-105 f4L lens that I had attached. It acted a bit wonky after the 3-day rice bath I gave to it, and ultimately had to send it back to Canon USA for repair because of the policy that I put on it, which was the Care Pack Plus insurance, for basically accidental damage, beyond the warranty. Canon ultimately, while not unable to timely repair the lens, sent me a replacement at no additional cost, which was certainly, basically the couple $100 I spent buying that package was money well spent compared to buying a whole new lens or paying for a full repair out of pocket. So if your camera company offers accident protection, I suggest you buy it because you never know. Every Canon lens and body that I've ever purchased in the last 8 years, I bought the Care Pack Plus package for it, and this is the first time I've actually had to use it, and it saves me a lot of money over having to pay pay full freight for either repair or buying a whole new lens. So I suggest when you buy your new camera or lens, if your camera company, if not Canon, offers a similar accident protection, go ahead and buy it because it's going to be worth it, as opposed to like paying out of pocket for complete repair or for having to buy a whole new lens or a whole new body. So that's my lesson to you, and thankfully this story has a very happy ending, and I'm going to be able to shoot with the R5 and this lens ongoing. So if you liked what you've seen in terms of the content, in terms of the images, and you want to see more of it, please give me a like, give me a subscription. Any comments that you have, please drop them down below, and I'll see you next time. Bye.